In a dramatic escalation over the Red Sea, Yemen's Houthi rebels targeted U.S. military aircraft, attempting to challenge American air superiority. What followed was a series of swift and decisive actions that underscored the volatility of the region and the readiness of U.S. forces to respond to emerging threats. On February 19, 2025, while conducting routine operations over the Red Sea near Yemen's coastline, a U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter jet became the target of a surface-to-air missile, SAM, launched by Houthi rebels. The missile, however, failed to hit its mark, allowing the F-16 to continue its mission unscathed. This incident marked a significant escalation, as it was the first recorded attempt by the Houthis to engage a manned U.S. fighter aircraft with such weaponry. The use of SAMs against high-speed maneuverable jets like the F-16 indicated a notable advancement in the Houthis' offensive capabilities, raising concerns about the potential risk to coalition air operations in the region. In a related event on the same day, the Houthis targeted an MQ-9 Reaper drone, a remotely piloted aircraft renowned for its surveillance and strike capabilities. Unlike the F-16, the MQ-9 was successfully shot down over Yemen's Marib province. The loss of the Reaper represented a substantial financial setback, with each unit valued at approximately $30 million. The downing of the MQ-9 highlighted the evolving threat posed by the Houthis air defense systems. Their ability to target and destroy advanced U.S. drones underscored the need for enhanced countermeasures and strategic adjustments to mitigate risks to both manned and unmanned aircraft operating in the area. In response to the provocative actions by the Houthi rebels, the U.S. military executed a series of rapid retaliatory strikes aimed at degrading the Houthis' offensive capabilities and deterring future aggression. The U.S. Navy, spearheaded by the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman, initiated sustained combat operations against Houthi positions. Carrier-based aircraft conducted multiple sorties, targeting missile launch sites, command and control centers, and weapons storage facilities associated with the Houthi insurgency. These operations were designed to disrupt the rebels' ability to conduct further attacks and to send a clear message regarding the consequences of targeting U.S. forces. Simultaneously, the U.S. Air Force deployed additional assets to the region, including F-35A, Lightning II fighters, and B-2 Spirit stealth bombers. The F-35s, known for their advanced stealth and sensor capabilities, provided a significant boost to the coalition's air dominance. The B-2 bombers, capable of delivering precision strikes over long distances, were stationed at strategic locations such as Diego Garcia, ready to engage high-value targets as needed. These combined efforts resulted in significant losses for the Houthi forces, with reports indicating the destruction of multiple missile sites and the elimination of key personnel involved in the planning and execution of attacks against U.S. assets. The swift and decisive actions by the U.S. military served to reaffirm its commitment to maintaining stability in the region and protecting its interests against emerging threats. The incidents over the Red Sea highlighted the complex and volatile nature of the conflict in Yemen, emphasizing the need for continued vigilance and adaptability in addressing the challenges posed by non-state actors equipped with increasingly sophisticated weaponry. In response to escalating threats from Houthi forces in Yemen, the United States initiated a series of precision strikes utilizing Tomahawk cruise missiles and F/A-18 fighter jets. These operations aim to degrade the Houthis' offensive capabilities and deter further aggression in the region. The campaign commenced with the launch of Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles, TLAMs, from U.S. Navy vessels stationed in the Red Sea. The USS Gettysburg, a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser, was among the ships that executed these strikes, targeting critical Houthi infrastructure, including missile launch sites, command and control centers, and weapons storage facilities. Concurrently, F/A-18 Super Hornet fighter jets operating from the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier conducted multiple sorties over Houthi-controlled territories. These aircraft employed precision-guided munitions to neutralize threats, focusing on dismantling the Houthis' ability to launch attacks against U.S. and allied assets. The coordinated use of Tomahawk missiles and F/A-18 fighter jets showcased the U.S. military's capability to execute complex multi-domain operations. The Tomahawks provided the advantage of striking high-value targets from a distance, minimizing risk to personnel, While the FA-18s offered flexibility and precision in engaging dynamic targets, these strikes resulted in significant degradation of Houthi military capabilities, disrupting their operational planning and reducing their capacity to threaten maritime security in the Red Sea. The operations underscored the U.S. commitment to maintaining stability in the region and protecting vital international shipping lanes from insurgent threats. The Houthi rebels in Yemen have increasingly benefited from a supply of sophisticated Iranian-made weapons, elevating their threat profile in the Middle East. This influx has enabled the Houthis to execute more effective and far-reaching attacks against both military and civilian targets. U.S. intelligence reports have confirmed that the Houthis have employed various Iranian-origin missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, in their operations. These weapons have been used to target regional infrastructure and disrupt global commerce, posing significant challenges to security in the area. The provision of these advanced weapon systems has not only enhanced the Houthis' offensive capabilities, but also complicated efforts to achieve a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Yemen. The international community has expressed concern over Iran's role in exacerbating the situation by supplying arms to the Houthis, viewing it as a destabilizing factor in an already volatile region. Addressing the proliferation of Iranian-made weapons among Houthi forces remains a critical component of broader efforts to restore stability in Yemen and the surrounding areas. It requires a concerted approach involving diplomatic pressure on Iran, enhanced interdiction efforts to prevent arms smuggling, and support for initiatives aimed at resolving the conflict through peaceful means. The Red Sea and the Bab al-Mandeb Strait are critical arteries for global maritime trade, facilitating the movement of goods between Europe, Asia, and Africa. The escalation of Houthi attacks in these waters has significantly disrupted international shipping, leading to profound economic and logistical consequences. Beginning in November 2023, Iran-backed Houthi forces initiated a series of assaults on commercial vessels traversing the Red Sea. By February 2024, over 40 vessels had been targeted, compelling major shipping companies to reconsider their routes. Many opted to bypass the Suez Canal and the Red Sea, choosing instead the longer journey around the Cape of Good Hope. This alternative route added approximately 3,000 nautical miles and an extra 10 days to voyages, notably increasing operational costs and delivery times. The repercussions of these disruptions were multifaceted. Insurance premiums for voyages through the Red Sea and Bab al-Mandeb surged dramatically. Analysts observed that rates, typically around 0.6% of a cargo's value, spiked to as high as 2%, reflecting the heightened risk in the region. This increase in insurance costs further strained shipping companies, many of which faced difficult decisions between risking Houthi attacks or incurring higher expenses and delays by rerouting. CSIS. The economic impact extended beyond the shipping industry. Egypt, for instance, experienced a significant decline in revenue from the Suez Canal, a vital source of national income. In 2024 alone, the country reported a $7 billion loss due to decreased canal traffic, underscoring the broader economic ramifications of the Houthi attacks. Reuters. Furthermore, the global supply chain felt the strain. The diversion of vessels led to delays in the delivery of goods, affecting industries reliant on timely shipments. The increased costs associated with longer routes and higher insurance premiums were often passed down the supply chain, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers worldwide. In response to these challenges, the international community faced mounting pressure to address the security threats in the Red Sea. Ensuring the safety of these vital shipping lanes became paramount, not only for regional stability, but also for the health of the global economy. The situation highlighted the intricate link between maritime security and international trade, emphasizing the need for coordinated efforts to safeguard these critical waterways. The Trump administration's response to the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea was emblematic of its broader military doctrine, characterized by swift, decisive action aimed at neutralizing perceived threats to U.S. interests and global stability. In March 2025, President Donald Trump authorized a series of airstrikes targeting Houthi positions in Yemen. This decision was framed as a direct response to the rebels' assaults on commercial shipping vessels, which were deemed intolerable disruptions to international maritime commerce. President Trump articulated a stern warning to the Houthis, stating that if their attacks did not cease, Hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before. This approach underscored the administration's commitment to ensuring freedom of navigation in vital waterways. National Security Council spokesman James Hewitt emphasized this stance, declaring, "The United States continues to unleash the arsenal of America against Houthi terrorists who have for too long terrorized international shipping and attacked U.S. Navy vessels." President Trump is committed to restoring freedom of navigation through the Red Sea. The administration's military actions were not limited to airstrikes. Significant naval assets were mobilized to the region, including the deployment of aircraft carriers such as the USS Harry S. Truman and the USS Carl Vinson. These moves were designed to project power and deter further aggression from the Houthis and their backers. However, these military operations were not without controversy. Critics questioned the legal justifications for the strikes and the potential for escalating the conflict. Senators Jeff Merkley and Rand Paul expressed concerns about the clarity of the administration's strategy and the adherence to the law of armed conflict. They called for comprehensive briefings to ensure that military actions aligned with long-term national security objectives and legal frameworks. The Trump administration's handling of the Houthi threat reflected its broader military doctrine, a readiness to employ substantial force in defense of U.S. interests, coupled with a willingness to act unilaterally if deemed necessary. This posture aimed to send a clear message to adversaries about the consequences of actions perceived as hostile to U.S. interests and global stability. In summary, the administration's response to the Houthi attacks was a manifestation of its commitment to assertive military action to protect vital international interests, particularly the unimpeded flow of global commerce through strategic maritime corridors.